Dozens of homes are under mandatory evacuations as a fire burns in Colorado Springs. That's today's top story on CBSN Denver. The Bear Creek fire was reported around 11 o'clock Thursday morning on the west side of Bear Creek Park. Firefighters say it's burning at least 8 to 10 acres. Evacuees are being moved to Cheyenne Mountain High School, and the Humane Society of the Pikes Peak region says it's ready to shelter any pets evacuating from the fire.
Alright guys, this is one way to start a video today, but there is some crazy stuff going on right now, and I think we're about to pack up our house to evacuate our house. Like I'm getting a little freaked out. There is a wildfire literally like less than a mile away from us. Ella, we cannot go outside. It is smoky outside, baby, and you cannot go outside. There's literally so many sirens going off right now. Like literal, you can hear it outside. Oh my gosh, it smells so bad out here. Ben is going to talk to our neighbors right now to tell them that we're probably going to be evacuating. You can literally hear the sirens inside of our house right now. But basically what's going on is I was putting Avery down for a nap and I was rocking her to sleep, and my mom called me and I ended the call because I couldn't talk to her. I was rocking Avery to sleep. Then Ben comes into the room. He's like, is she asleep? And I was like, yeah. He goes, there's a fire outside. Like, we need to go and check it out. Your mom just called me. Like, there's a house fire. So I was like, okay. And I laid her down and we walked up the hill from our house, and there is so much smoke in the air, and it's really, really close to our house. So we talked about it for a second and we were like, oh, well, there's a house fire, blah blah blah. Then my mom sent us a video, like all of us kids, and I'll insert the video right here, and it looks so much bigger than like just a house fire, and I guess it is a lot bigger than just a house fire. The house fire spread into the grass, and it's all behind our house is just fields. Like, it's just dead grass, and so grass burns super, super quickly. And so it's starting to spread all in that park area that's behind our house. And then my mom drove over here and she's like, I just want to let you know that we are packing up our house to evacuate, like all important papers, important pictures, anything like that. Because the thing about Colorado fires is the wind here is like pretty severe, and it's pretty windy outside right now. Wind plays a huge factor into direction of fires and how bad it can get. Like, if there's no wind, then it won't really spread, but today it is pretty windy, which means it could spread very quickly. I'm starting to like get a little bit scared because, like I said, we do live in a residential area, but just behind us is all field, and there's a gigantic dog park, so that will all burn really fast. And the thing is our house is the first row of houses into our neighborhood. All behind us is field, so the houses that are way more into our neighborhood probably don't have to worry as much as we do, because our house, like I said, is one of the first houses on this side of the entryway into our neighborhood. My mom, you guys know, my mom lives across the street, so she is packing up all of her important stuff. I think that we should too, because they will evacuate people if you're within a certain radius of the fire. And I think that,
and wind,
yeah, and wind, depending on the wind, but it is pretty close to us, and I think that if it grows any bigger, which it probably will, they will most likely evacuate our entire neighborhood.
So I actually drove up there because like we heard all the sirens and everything like that, and there was so many police officers. I've never seen that many police officers in my life, along with like fire trucks as well. And like we also have like a very, very high like wildland firefighter population here, which is actually a good thing if you think of it. Like we've had
like firefighters that do that,
like wildland, just because we've had really, really bad fires in the past before. But the thing is like the earlier clips that I recorded are literally maybe half a block from our actual house.
I know.
It's literally a straight shot of just dry grass and dead trees, because it's wintertime and everything's dry.
And then it's our neighborhood.
And then it's like, yeah, everything is open, and then it's a pretty large street, and then our neighborhood. So just depending on, and right now the wind is coming right towards us, which is actually a really, really bad sign, because even if there is a street that's large enough, all it takes is a couple ashes to get into like grass over
And
here,
start it again.
and then it's just starting here. So I think no matter what, depending on if they cannot contain it fast enough, we're gonna get evacuated either way. Whether our house is in jeopardy or not, that's a whole different question.
But like strictly talking on the factor of if we're gonna get evacuated or not, I think the likelihood that we will get evacuated is pretty high.
And I think if we do get evacuated, we're gonna know within an hour.
Yeah.
They're gonna know if they're gonna be able to contain it within an hour or not, and if they don't, then they're gonna be like, okay, everybody get out of the house right now.
We are like one of the first houses in its direction, which is kind of scary.
They'll probably clear out everything.
Yeah, they'll probably clear out our entire neighborhood and mom's entire neighborhood. So, what do you want to do?
I think we just need to get like taxes, social security cards, all the boxes upstairs. Just put them in the car. Not necessarily like we don't have to leave and take them anywhere, but put them in the back of the car and get them ready so that we can throw some clothes together. I don't think we should do any clothes for right now. I think that's simple. We can literally just grab some stuff, throw it in the suitcase if we get evacuated, and leave. But I think like important like stuff like paperwork and stuff like that we're not going to think of, then I think we should do that now.
How crazy would that be to end off 2020
That'd be a cherry
without
on
a
top.
house?
It'll be a cherry on top. It'll be great. Don't stress
It's
out.
just kind of scary. Like we have 2 babies upstairs. I know that we'll be able to get out either way, but like it's just scary. Like we have a family and like all their stuff and.
But you know what the best thing about this whole situation is? We know of it. We're aware of it. We're not gonna be like, oh, it's a handy dandy going around a regular day. Like we're gonna keep an eye on it. Probably won't leave the house.
You should turn on the news.
Yeah, I probably should. But just saying, like we're aware of it, we know of it, and we're able to leave. It's not like we're not home. It's not like we're at work right now. Yeah. So like we have that ability. So.
Oh my gosh.
You can hike over there from here in 15 minutes from where I am. So we have a good vantage point. We've been looking at some topo maps. We've been following the social media communication. And as we had mentioned, we looked at topos and said it's in the Electra Drive area. And they are now calling this the Electra Fire on their social media posts. So that is the area where it is. What you're looking at, though, is it is right on the edge. There is
Look at all the dead trees right there.
Here. There is some park area there, which is where the fire started over there to the right, but with some of the winds, it's pushed it towards homes.
Look at how close these houses are. Literally.
And move out and let firefighters do their work. And other streets that are in that immediate area, it's the same thing. So, you know, you can wait for it, or you can just know that that's right there. It is time to get out of the way, let the firefighters do their work. That is fire taken off into new burnable material. When it's light, it's usually grasses. If you see it's dark, it's either a structure or it's going to be trees.
Wait, are we evacuated?
No, we're not evacuated yet. Anytime now we could be evacuated. Just because the wind, like Katie mentioned earlier, the wind gusts are so, like we have so much wind here. We've been watching the news for probably about 30 minutes now, and they've been saying that the rest of the day the winds are going to come west, which is really, really bad because we are literally in direct line west of the fire. And I googled it and we're like 1.2 miles away from the actual fire driving on roads. That's not including, like literally if it's a straight shot like it is, it's probably less than a mile away from us, maybe a little bit over a mile away from us. So Katie and I have kind of been watching the news to kind of assess what we're going to do, but I think that we might need to. And like as you guys can hear right now, the wind, like I want to run up the hill again. As you guys can hear overhead there, we have, I've mentioned this before, but we have a lot of military presence here in Colorado Springs. We have like 5 military bases within like our city limits, and our city really isn't even that big. But we have a lot of Air Force and then also some Army bases, but they're introducing, Colorado Springs Fire Department is also introducing a lot of military presence, which is actually really, really good. Lots of helicopters going in and out, dumping retardant on it and water and everything like that. But this is a very high risk fire just because of how much residential area is in the immediate vicinity of the fire, and then also the path towards us and the wind and everything like that. I'm feeling better about the whole situation just because they're starting to contain it somewhat. So and there's a lot of people at work, there's a lot of firefighters at work, and we haven't lost any structures yet, even in the actual neighborhoods where the fire started. So that's actually a really, really good sign. Obviously Katie is kind of a little bit on edge, so is her mom. It's just kind of a stressful kind of thing currently going on, but we're kind of just watching the news, hanging out. Erin actually brought us some Chick-fil-A, which is really, really nice of her. So we kind of all just ate, and Erin's actually here now still. We're all kind of just hanging out, listening to the news, seeing the updates and everything like that.
Saw that first one again, and here comes the second one. And it looks like it's going to reinforce right alongside where we saw that first one go. So again, what they're doing here is possibly gauging where the wind is going to shift, if at all.
That's mean. Give it to her. Aww.
Oh,
What do you think of the fire? What do you think?
I want to see.
Oh, we can't see it.
Okay, okay.
There's fire trucks and firefighters.
Firefighter
Yeah, they're really nice.
and night.
They're trying to help put out the fire
Fighter
so it doesn't burn down our stuff.
was a fish.
All right, we are out walking now. I have my little Bobo right here. Look at her in this thing. She's so big, but also feels so light at the same time. We're on a walk because I've literally been sitting in front of the TV, watching the news for the past like 3 hours. Nothing has gotten better. Nothing has gotten worse, I don't think. So,
Well, things have definitely gotten better the past hour.
yeah, like nothing's changed.
Well,
Which is, I guess, is good because nothing's changed. It hasn't gotten worse.
Well, yeah, no, but no, I think it's definitely gotten better because there's no wind anymore.
Oh yeah, there is no more wind, and the sun's gone down, so it's not as like hot. So we're actually walking on the road right now, as you can see. Not on the road, but like right beside the road, because we're going to check out if we can see any smoke still, because it's supposed to be at the top of this hill. So we're gonna go check it out and see if we can still see anything. Well, you can kind of see it, but this is all of the smoke right there.
And they saw like a before when I came out here the first time.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's all behind these trees too. All right guys, it is a couple days later. It is at nighttime pretty much right now, so like this is like the best lighting I can find. The fire happened 2 days ago. Honestly, it is seriously a miracle that it ended the way that it did. The way that the firefighters reacted and all the first responders and everybody evacuating when they were asked to, plus all of the help with the military, the fire was stopped very quickly, or the spread of the fire stopped really quickly. I told Ben that if it were in the summertime and it would have been a little bit more dry or hot outside, I think that it could have been like extremely devastating, because like we mentioned a few times, it was in a very residential area. There was only like the park right behind us, but the majority of the area is homes, and thankfully no structures were lost. Yesterday Ben and I took a drive up there to see if we could see if anything was burned down or if we could like see anything, but everything is still blocked off. I'm pretty sure they're investigating how the fire started, and I don't even know how they do that. I don't even know how they find out how a fire started, but apparently they can do that. So that's what they've been doing for the past couple of days, is just seeing the cause of the fire. But yeah, the fact that we didn't have to be evacuated and no structures were lost and the fire died down so quickly is seriously a miracle. You could see from the first clips of when Ben went and showed the fire versus when we were on a walk, like the difference in the smoke is so huge. We've had enough fires here in Colorado Springs. We've had 2 like extremely devastating fires in the past 5 or 6 years. Our area of town that we live in is prone to fires, so it is really scary, but I'm so glad that it was all taken care of the way that it should have been, and everything lined up perfectly. Everybody cooperated and everybody did their job. So thank you so much to all of the firefighters and first responders that helped stop the spread of the fire. We did have a fire, I don't even know how long ago it was, but my family went through another fire a couple years ago, and actually Luke, Aaron's boyfriend, his house burned down in that fire, and we weren't even as close to that fire as we were this fire, and we were on pre-evacuation. Like, it was a really bad fire and it could change directions at any time, so they were getting people ready to get out of their house as soon as possible, and it was really scary, but I didn't really care. I don't even remember having any feelings about it. But this time it was different because I had family and I had kids, and even though I knew that we'd be able to get out and get to safety, just the thought of like having all of our stuff burned down is like kind of scary. So I'm so glad that that didn't happen and everybody's safe. No people passed away, no structures were lost, and so that is such a good thing. I just wanted to give you guys that update that we're doing okay. I'm still like mentally recovering from all of this. I feel like it's just one thing after another that we're just put through, and I may open up about that maybe in the next vlog, I don't know, but I am like struggling a lot with a lot of different things. And I have like, I made a video a couple videos ago that was just kind of apologizing for me being negative, but I got so many messages saying that they like that I'm being really real with you guys and I'm not sugarcoating anything. Like, I'm walking you through my raw emotions at the time, and people like that. So I may share some of my struggles in videos coming up, because I am like struggling a lot right now, and then hopefully within the next couple of days it will get better. Yeah, that fire was definitely not good for me and my mental health. Thank you guys so much for all of the concern and prayers and all of the messages. I got so many texts from people just saying like, are you okay? I know that you're in the path of fire, like what are you guys doing? I got so many messages from people. So thank you so much for thinking about us. We are okay. The girls are screaming in the next room. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram before you leave, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye guys.
You set my world on fire. You're